Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And this week, this is what we're going to be creating today. This is actually going to be part one out of 5-part series I'll be doing on Slideshow, creating Slideshow in After Effects. And this tutorial is for beginners, that's why it's a little bit long, but I'm pretty sure you get a great value for this. Don't forget the project file is in the link in the description, and I'll see you after the video. I'm going to start by creating a composition. I'm going to name this main scene. I'm going to make this 30 frames per second, then 10 seconds long. And I'm going to leave the background as black and leave this. So we have our composition. What I want to do is start filling up the composition with some layers. The very first thing I'll create is a solid. So I want to create my background. And I'm just going to leave this at black. I'll name it BJ01. I'll click OK. So we have a black background. I think I would like to still make the color really black. I'm going to come here and type in fill. To add my color, change to black. All right, so we also have a pure black background. Now I'm going to click on this, duplicate, Ctrl D to duplicate, and I'm going to change the color of this. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to change the color to this. So click OK. I've created my background, and the next I would like to do is to bring in our image. So I'm going to go to my file explorer. So I'm just going to bring this image and drag it into After Effects. The image is quite large. If I check the information from here, you can see it's about 6,000 pixels. So what I need to do, let's delete this from the main scene here, and then I'll go to my composition here, create a new composition, name this image 01. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to drag this image into it. Then I'm going to press S for scale, then scale it down until it fits. I think this is fine. I'm going to go back to my main scene and then bring in my image and drop it on top of it. So I have something like this, but then this is not what we really want to do. We want to put this in a kind of shape. So I'm going to hide this for now, and I'm going to go to my shape to choose rounded rectangle. Make sure I click out, then I'm just going to draw something like this. I'm going to click on my move tool. I'm going to try and make it stick to this side angle here, but then I'm still going to try make sure it's centralized. Then move it to the side a little bit like this, and maybe I will need to scale this some more. Let's scale it a little bit more like this. Then I'm going to select this, go to my rectangle, open this up. Then I need to zoom in a little bit because I want to make sure it's more rounded. So I'm going to increase this. This is fine. So I think I'm happy with this. So what I'll do is I'm going to name this to image matte, and then I'm going to click this toggle switches and board until I see this function. Click on this and do alpha matte. So I need to activate it. So now I've done alpha matte. It's actually revealing within the image. But then I'm not done. I'm going to click this, then duplicate. I'm going to name this matte stroke. I'm going to activate this, and I'm going to change this from fill to no fill to then I'll add stroke, and then the stroke I'm going to make it about 9 pixels, and I'm going to use this color, and this is the color code here. I'm going to click OK. So the next thing I want to do, I want to create those design accent that I created here before. I can just use text and then come here and type plus on my keypad. So I'll increase this a lot. If I click out, this is cross. The font width is actually black, which is really big or bold, and it's italic. So we need to change this to, so let me select the text, come here, change this to, let's do medium. Okay, a medium seems to be working perfectly. I think I like this. So I'm just going to place this somewhere here, and I'm just going to click this, duplicate, drag it down. Okay, so I'm going to select this again, duplicate, then drag it down. I can notice that the anchor point, they are not at the center, so I can select the 3 of this, or better still, I can show you how to do this manually first. I'll select the pan behind anchor point. After that, and I'll come here, select, hold down Control to snap to the center. That's how you change it. If you have access to discrete motion tools, I've talked about it in my past videos, all you need to do is select the 2 layers, then click on this center button, and the anchor point will snap at the center. So I'll select on the move tool, then zoom out a little bit, but then I'm going to select this 3, and I'm going to change the color to the color that I prefer for this. I'm going to come here and put in the color value, then click OK. The colors have changed, which is fine. So the next thing, I want to start creating my text. I'm gonna go to my text tool and I'm gonna type in man friend. Okay, I'm going to click on the move tool, then I'm going to change this to white. Okay, and I'm going to change this to black italic. So just in case you're wondering the fonts I'm using, I'm actually using Montserrat and I'm going to be using different weights from it. I'm going to select this and I'm going to adjust my, then make sure I select all caps. So I have something like this. So I'm going to select this, then make sure I change the value to 120 so as to make it smaller. One thing I can do is I can activate the title action save, and then I can use that to make sure that my design is in the safe area spot. Let me use this particular one here. There's another line here, and I think I would like to move this mat a little bit forward. So let me move this mat, the mat itself now. That's what I'm moving to this other line. Okay, then I'll take my 3 cross, then I'll move it to the side, and I might have to decrease the scale of this cross a little bit and just adjust accordingly. Now my stroke is out of place. What I need to do, I can delete the stroke, then duplicate the image mat again, activate it, and then change it from no fill to stroke. To make sure you use 9 pixel. So I have this, but make sure I zoom out and click on this so I can see my composition really well. The next thing I like to do is to create another text here. I'm going to duplicate this, drag this up, then just name this cool design. I'm going to click this, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to reduce the size to 54, and I'm going to change the color to one of these colors that I see here. Then I'm going to paste the color here. And so I need to create a background for this. I'm going to create this rounded rectangle, zoom in very well, and then do something like this, maybe something like this. If you hold down space as you're drawing, you will move the mouse still drawing your rounded rectangle. I'm going to release that. Then of course I'll change this from no stroke to fill, and I'm going to change this to white, and then I'm going to just drop this below cool design so we can have something like this. I'm going to change to move to, select the text and adjust, make sure they're all arranged well. I think we are getting there. What I have left is the remaining small text down here. I can click on my text box and zoom in into this and then create like a text box from here, drag to this point and then release. And I'm going to take my text, I'm going to paste it here, and as you can see, you can barely see this. Well, don't worry, we'll adjust it. I think I can make this text, let me drag this up. I can make this text semi-bold so we can see it some more. Well, now I think we are almost done. So all I need to do is to add effects to this image so that the color will change. Come to my image and then I'll go to effect and preset. I can't find it here, so I'll go to Windows, click on effect and preset, and then I'm going to come here and then look for tint. The tint effect is under color correction. Then we'll just click and then drag it on top of the image itself. Immediately I do that, it changes to black and white. So let me rearrange this and put this here. It changes to black and white. Then now I have to change the color. Then I'm going to click this, come here and then change the color to the color that I prepared for this. Right, maybe a little bit too dark, so let's make it kind of white a little bit. Click OK, and then I'll select the dark one, and then I'm going to just paste this. I'll make this darker, a little bit darker. Now click OK. Then I would like to just make it a tiny bit darker. So what I need to do is I would come to my effects here and type curves, which is color correction, then drag and drop here. But then this curve should come first before the tint, and then I'm just going to make it darker a little bit. Let me crank this up a tiny bit. Let's keep on going. I think this is cool, but then I like to add a little bit of some drop shadows to this text so that we can actually see them very well. I'm going to click this and I'm going to come to my effect panel, look for drop shadow, then click and drop here. Now we can have something. So let me go to my character. So this is actually semi-bold. Let me change this to bold to see. Yeah, it's looking way better. I'm going to take my drop shadow and I'm going to increase this softness quite a little. Okay, and I'm going to copy this drop shadow, go to my man best friend and paste this. Okay, now I'm looking at this text. I need to make correction. So it's actually going to be man's best friend. I'll double click this, come here and put apostrophe S. Now be man's best friend, which is this, click, and then I think I might need to readjust. So I can just maybe drop it down a little bit. That's absolutely fine. So what I need to do now is to add a little bit of some glow to this. I'll go to my cross first. So let me align these three cross that we have here, and I'm going to click this, change them to, let's say, aqua, right, so that they'll be quite different. Then I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going to go to my effect and preset, type in deep glow. Deep glow is actually a plugin from everything. If you don't have deep glow, you can just use a simple glow effect, but you need to double it so you can get to achieve what you really want. But I'm going to use deep glow, drop it on top of this cross, and as soon as I do, you have this really blown out. So but this is not what I want, so I'm going to go to the exposure. I'm going to change it to 0.01, so it will definitely die down. Let me zoom in some more. So I think 0.01 is actually too much. Let's just do 0.05, just a little tiny bit of it, so you can see the difference. I'm going to copy the deep glow, then paste on the rest. Now I think I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm also going to add glow to this stroke too as well. Let me just paste which is on my matte stroke. So this is supposed to be image matte stroke. So let me rename this matte stroke. Then I'm also going to paste to this. We have something really cool like this. The next thing we want to do is to start animating. So I'm going to animate the three crosses that I have here. So the first thing I'll go to here, I'm going to press R for rotation. Let me set for all the crosses. So I'm going to set R for rotation at this point. Then I'm going to go to, let's say, about 7 seconds. Let's say they make about 5 circles. But I come here, and see it will just keep animating that way. So I'm going to highlight all of this. So I'll do easy ease. So that's it for the crosses. What I'll do, I'll go to man's best friend, I'll open this up, then I'm going to add a text animator to this. So I'll go to animate, then go to position, then I'll go to the position, and we're going to adjust the position to be up too much, so up a little bit like this. And I'm going to open up my range. If I animate the stats, can you see that it's animating them one after the time, which is fine. But what I really wanted is it to animate them not by character but by words. So I'll go to the advanced, then change from characters to words. Okay, so if I animate this now, so let me solo this now so I can see what I'm doing. Can you see? Bring them in per word, which is exactly what I want. So what I'll do now is at this point, I'll set the start here. Then at 2 seconds, I'm just going to set it to 100. Then I'll highlight this to right click, easy ease, graph editor, and I'll do something like this. Really sharp like that. So if I play this now, I have something like this, which is fine. But then if I uncheck this, you can see that it's actually in the way of this other design here. So what we need to do is to create a matte for this text. So I'll quickly create a rectangle, right? Make sure nothing's selected, and I'll create this rectangle like this. Yeah, maybe something like this. I'm going to click this and drop it above. So I'm going to name this text matte. Click out. Then I'm going to take my text and do alpha matte. If you cannot see alpha matte, toggle switches and mode for you to see it. I'll do that. So I'm going to take this text and this matte. I'm going to give them a different color so I can easily recognize them. Now that I'm seeing this, I would like to move this one down a little bit. Let's keep animating. What I would like to do is I'd like to animate everything and then arrange them as soon as I'm done. So I would like to animate this by using a preset called fade upwards. I'm going to animate using that. I'm going to drag this here. This is by default. So let me solo this. If I play this by default, this is what I have, right, which is okay. So I'm going to press U here, and I'm going to just drag this to 2 seconds. Then I can highlight this, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Then I'll do the same curves, yeah, which is fine. So if I play this now, I have something like this, okay, which is really what I wanted. Then click out. So the next thing I would like to animate is this cool design. I'll go to cool design. So I'll go to the text, background text of the code design. So I'll name it, let me rename this to text BG. So I'm going to change the color of this to let's do this. Okay, so I can easily recognize them. So I'm going to select the text background. So I'm going to go to 1 second mark, press S for scale, and check the chain. And I'm just going to do this, check it here. Then I'll go back and I'm going to change the Y axis to 0. If I play this now, it's revealing from the center, which is fine. I'm going to highlight this, do easy ease, right thing. So let me solo this. So if I play this, right, yeah, which is really what we wanted. But I activate my cool text now, I can add an effect to this called set matte, and I'll click and drop it here. What I'll do is I want this text to always review within the boundary box here. So I'm going to select the settings here, take matte from layer. So I need to select the layer, which is going to be text PG. As soon as this is not showing, the text will not be revealing itself. Yeah, so that serves as an alpha matte. So you can also do duplicate and do alpha matte with the shape, but I think this effect is more proficient like this. Even at that, I would still like to animate the text. So I'm going to do P for position, set this here, then take this back, and just drag it up. Just a subtle kind of movement, easy ease. Okay, so if I play this, so I think I really like what I'm seeing. We are done with this. But then one thing I like to do is to pre-comp the code design and text, because in our example, you can see that we have a dark version of this that was revealing first. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pre-comp it. So I'll select the two, then do pre-compose. Then I'm going to name this white. I'll click OK. Then I'll click on this. Now I'll just go ahead and mask this. Then I'll make sure the anchor point is at the center. Now what I'll do is I'll right click here, go to review layer in source project. So I have it here. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to duplicate it here using Ctrl D. Then I'm going to name this other one down as dark version. Okay, and I'll click out. What I'll do, I'll come back here and duplicate this. Then I'll take the dark version, select the one that's under, then come drag. Use Alt, hold down Alt as I click and drag and replace the one under. We have the dark version here, we have the white on top. So I'm going to go into the dark version. I'm going to come here and I'm just going to invert the colors. Can you see? So if I go to my main scene, if I hide my whites and reveal, if I hide my white and reveal the dark, can you see that this is already here? So let's hide the dark for now, go with the white. So let me start with the cool text. We come here and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, change it to move to, zoom in a little bit, then adjust accordingly. Then I'm going to change the icon point to this side at this edge here. So I'll take my time indicator to at 1 second, and I'm going to set the scale for this. S for scale, set it here. So let me solo this so that we'll see what we are doing. And then I'll go to 1.5 seconds here, and I'm going to set the scale to 80. It becomes smaller, and of course I'll highlight easy ease. Go to graph editor, do the same style that I've been doing since. If I play this, I have scales down, which is fine, which is really what I wanted. I'm done with that. Press P for position, and press U first, then hold down Shift P, right, so I can see this here. I'll go ahead in 2 seconds, and I'm going to set the position here. In 3 seconds, I'll move it down just a little bit. But I like this. Easy. Okay, if I play this now, let me just solo this. I have something like this. Okay, which is fine. I like what I'm seeing. I believe we are done with this. So now go back to man's best friend. I'm going to highlight the text. So at this point when this is coming, I need to add some additional movement to this. So I'll press U to see where I am with this. I'll take this time indicator, maybe somewhere here, maybe like half a second. Then close this and open this up again. Go to animate, then add tracking. But then before you add tracking, make sure your paragraph alignment is on the left. But at this point here, I'm going to set this to 12. I'll set the keyframe and I'll go to about 2.5 here, and I'll change this back to 0. And of course, I need to change the position. Maybe I'll just go back a frame or two and I'll set the position. So now I need to press P for position, right? Then press U so I can see all my keyframes. And I'll go forward a little bit, about 1 second. I'm going to move this down. So I have something like this. But then I need to make sure my mat is actually long enough to accommodate this. So what I'll do is I'll change my icon point of the mat to be up. Hold down control and then I'll just drag this. I'll drag this out. So let me change my move to press V for the shortcut of that. I drag it out and I have something like this. I think so far so good. This is what we have. So what I'll do is let me just align the position first. Easy is. So I play this now. This is what I have. So the last one, we need to add additional movement to it's this body of text here. So select this. First of all, I'll move this to about 1 second. Let me just move this to 1 second first. If I press U, this is where we have our animation so far. And then I'll go just a little bit backward to about 2.5 seconds. I'm going to press S and set this. But then I need to make sure the icon point is at this angle. So I'm going to use my pan behind icon point to then drag it to this side. Hold down control to snap there, which is fine. So S, change back to move to. Then press U to see everything, and then I'll go to 3.5 seconds here, and then I'm going to scale it to about 120%. So actually I'm going to just swap this. So what I can do is I want the 120 to be here, the 100 to be here. So what I'll do is align this to right click, keyframe assistant, and do time reversal so to swap them. So I'm going to align this. Easy is okay. Check. So if I play this now, I have this. This is making sense. So what I can do is just adjust this to see that I'm good. Yes, I think I'm good with this. We are done with all the text animation. Okay, so far so good. This is what we have. I think we are good. Let's animate the image coming in. So what I'll do, first of all, I'm going to align these 3 crosses. I'll select them. I would parent them to image. And of course, I'm going to select the matte too and the mask stroke. I'm going to select my image. So let me change this to yellow so I can see that it's the image I'm dealing with. Then go back. So let me just solo this so that we know that this is what we are facing. So let me actually go to 2 seconds first. Then set the position here. Press P for position. Set it here. Then go back in time to 0 seconds. And then drag this. Remember that my crosses are actually parented, so it will actually follow along, including the matte, the stroke, and the matte itself. They all go this way. Let me zoom out a little bit. So I think at this point, it's okay. I'm just going to highlight this. Easy is. I'm going to go to my graph editor. If I play this now, this is what I have. I think I would like to change the curve. So let me just do easy ease on this. Then select the curve and do something like this. So yeah, so we're going to change it to that curve, but then I still need to animate the first background that I have here. So I'll go to 2 seconds, press P, set the position here, go back, then set this one to go this side as well. So I need to check this too so I can see it. Check this to go this side. Okay, so I like this, then go do something like this. Let's play just my image. I'm soloing this up, so I'm going to trim my work area to this point. So I'm going to press N to trim my work area to this point. So if I take this and play, we have something like this, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to uncheck this, uncheck this, and see everything and see what we have left. This is what we have. I did not forget. So we still have the dark version of the cool text. All we need to do is to activate it. But then I'm going to duplicate the matte that I use for this image. So this is the matte. I want the white one to reveal within this, and then the black should reveal outside. So I'm going to duplicate this, right, and drag it up and put it on top of our cool design text white. Then I'm going to do alpha matte. If I drag this back, let's see what we're going to have. Can you see? It's going to give us that effect, and I think with this, so it's giving us this effect, which is really what we wanted. but then we still need to clear this up, the black text. As soon as it reveals the white, we can just cut it off. Maybe what I can do is, so maybe at this point I can just parent this to this, the black one, I'll parent it to this. Whatever animation that does, it's going to apply to it. But then I don't really need the black one from here, so I'm just going to cut it off from here. So let me just change this to black so you guys can easily recognize it. So this is what I have when I play this. All right, which is really cool, looking really cool. What I need to do now is the lines. All I need to do, I'll go to my image match stroke and I'll open this up. So let me change the color of this so I can easily recognize it. So all I need to do is just go to add, go to trim parts and open this up. So maybe at 2 seconds, yeah, at this point, I'll set this end here and I'll also set the offset too. Then I'll take this back and I'll change this to 0. Then I'll also change the offset to, let's say, -1. I'll highlight this, right click, do easy ease. Let me solo this and play. Let's see what we're gonna have. So we're going to have this line going on around our image, which is fine. So I'm going to unsolo this. And I think with that, we are done with the animation. So let me just play this. I can see that my text is cutting off at the end here. So I need to adjust the matte. So this is my text matte. Select my move to, I'll just change the anchor point first to this point so I can freely move it. I'll change it to anchor point. I'll hold down control, then I'll click this and then drag forward. So let me change back to move to and then click on this handle and then drag forward. I think so far so good. This is what we have and this is really looking cool, but then I don't like the way the image is standing still. So all I need to do is to add a subtle movement to this. So I'll go into my image, click this. Maybe I'll just have it move from left to right. So let me first of all have it move to the right. Go to my time indicator here, then press position here and then take it to 10 seconds. Then I'll just move this to about to this edge. So I think I'm good with this. I'll go back and then play this. So before I even play it, let me just add the last thing we need to add. Go to new, add adjustment layer just to bring all of this together. So I'm going to rename this to CC, which is for color correction. Go to my effect and preset and type curves, which is for color correction. Take it and drop here. And then maybe I can just punch this up a little bit, or maybe just punch it down a little bit here. All right, maybe punching it down, then pushing this one up just tiny bit. So this is without the curve, this with the curve, just bringing out some contrast some more. And then I can select this and go to the blue channel and then just push this up a little bit. So this is without, this is with curves adjustment. And with this, we are practically done with our animation. So let me play this for the last time. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed that. I know that was a little bit too long. I promise to keep it shorter next time, but I was just trying to make sure that I cover everything I need to cover in this particular tutorial. Don't forget, this is part 1 out of 5 parts videos we are going to be doing for this particular series. Make sure you like. If you really do like this, make sure you like, comment, and of course subscribe. If you are here to subscribe, I really appreciate it, and you get to see more cool stuff from me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.